Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Today we are going to start with chapter 11, the etiquettes of sitting, sleeping and walking, from Bahar-e-Shariat version 16. It is mentioned in the Quran-e-Majid, Luqman said to his son, "And when conversing with anyone, do not distort your cheek and walk not with arrogance on the earth. Verily Allah loves not anyone who is arrogant and boastful, and walk at a moderate pace and lower your voice. Undoubtedly the most awful of all sounds is the braying of the donkey." Surah 31 verses 18 and 19. And he says, "And walk not with arrogance on the earth. Verily neither will you ever be able to tear through the earth, nor will you reach the mountains in stature." Surah 17 verse 37. And he says, "And the servants of the Most Compassionate are those who walk on the earth gently, and when they are addressed by the ignorant ones, then they say Salam," means peace, "and those who spend the night prostrating and standing for their Rabb, for Allah." Surah 25 verses 63 and 64. And he says, "O you who believe, when you are told to make room in gatherings, then make room. Allah will grant you room. And when you are told to rise up and stand, then rise up and stand. Allah will elevate in stature amongst you those of you who believe and those who possess knowledge." Surah 58 verse 11. In Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim, it is narrated from Ibn Umar radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma that Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam said, "It should not be such that one person should wake another person up from his place and then he himself sits there, but move aside and make some room." In other words, those who are seated should move aside to make room for the ones who arrives later, so that he too may be able to sit. Or it means that the person who comes in should not ask anyone to get up from where he is sitting, but he should request him to move a little and make some room, so that he may be seated. It has also been mentioned in the narration of Bukhari that Ibn Umar radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma used to regard it as makruh for someone to wake up, means get up from their place, and for him to then sit at that person's place. This action of Ibn Umar radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma was from the marvels of abstinence, that it should not be such that the person does not really wish to wake up, means stand up from his place, but he merely left his place for his sake. Abu Dawood reported from Sa'id ibn Abil Hasan, he says, "Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala anhu came to us during a presentation of testimony. A person got up from his place for him. He, however, refused to sit at that place and said that Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam prohibited this, and Huzur sallallahu alaihi wasallam also prohibited one from wiping his hands on the clothes of such a person whom he did not clothe." In this hadith, even though Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, please note this down, this is another Sahabi than Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he did not ask the person to leave his place, and that person had gotten up by himself from his place, and visibly this is not a situation regarding which there is any prohibition. However, this is the marvel of caution, that he did not find it appropriate to sit down even in such a situation. In other words, even though he did not ask the person to get up, but because the person had gotten up for him, he deliberated that it should not be so, that this too may be considered in the same ruling as asking someone to get up from his place.